I am not a video gamer. I am part of SPOC. I'm a Nintendo gamer, if I'm anything. And Nintendo doesn't have a lot of online stuff. That's a really recent thing, and it's not a big deal. Their games aren't geared for that as much as the Xbox and the PlayStation. It's much more about being Mario and running along and jumping on a mushroom. I think video games themselves are a very personal activity in the first place. It's not a very social thing to do, to be interacting with an online, not an online, but an electronic device. You're not interacting with other people, you're not playing a sport. So, you know, you play it alone or you have people with you playing it, but to feel a need to play it with other people, it seems to me that that would mainly behoove a gamer if they wanted to have better competition. And I don't need better competition because I'm not that good. I think online gaming can have a sense of community. Whether or not it actually does, I don't know. I think it's a good social outlet for people that don't like to interact with people face to face very much. It lets them be less inhibited. You know, it's them doing something they know they're good at, video games, with people that they know are like them that play video games, and they don't have to ever see that person ever. Not even, I don't have to see the person again. I don't have to see that person ever. I'm just playing a video game. But whether or not it's actually social is questionable. I have relatives that live near here. And when I first came to Clark, I stayed with them for a little bit. And I have an uncle, aunt, and 2 cousins that are their kids. And right when I got there, they are giant World of Warcraft fans, except for the mom. The mom's just like, World of Warcraft has eaten my family. Huge. It was a little weird. But my female cousin was a member of a guild and had acquired a boyfriend via her guild. And my uncle was an advocate for it in a way. Like, I mean, clearly he's like, you know, my daughter's, I don't like, you know, protective dad, but at the same time he was just saying, you know, it's not like chat rooms or anything like that because it's a guild and you're with each other and you're working towards the same goals, and you know, these are people that you're going to see again because they're part of your guild, and it's a communal thing and it's safer. And she had acquired a boyfriend via WoW, and that weekend we went to the mall to meet him in person for the first time, which is weird because he was a college freshman, and she at the time was a freshman or a sophomore in high school, which I thought was weird in the first place. But it was strange, and you could see that my uncle and aunt were, you know, like just kind of grinning and bearing it, you know, wanting to be supportive but uncomfortable with it. And you could tell she was a little embarrassed, you know, like just a little like after a while, in a few years, she's not going to want to admit that this ever happened. I mean, I don't think they're still dating, but nothing went awry. It was an extremely awkward time. They held hands slightly. He wasn't very social with her. I suspect maybe it's, you know, because it was their first time ever seeing each other and they're more comfortable with their little gamer mics on. But I would say there's nothing wrong with making friends and meeting up with them. I'd say there's something wrong with making large emotional investments and replacing a relationship that you would have in real life. It shouldn't be subsidizing the amount of friends you have. I think it's identical to how newscasters describe ecstasy. And how, you know, these kids, they go to raves and they take ecstasy and they're suddenly not inhibited and they're not self-conscious and they do weird things and it's scary. Not scary, but on the internet. But I think that's exactly what it is it's just getting completely out of your comfort zone because you're not having to own up to anything. And you can do some dangerous things too that you don't even think are dangerous, but they are. And you can do a lot of personal things and weird things that you would not ever say to someone in person. Other than that, I would say the anonymity just lets you not have to own up to things. But for the most part, I would say it just makes you feel more comfortable. I would say the internet isolates people quite a bit, but in other ways connects people. I think the internet is a great tool to expand your communication, to expand coordination and knowledge quite a bit. But as I said before, to use the internet at all to subsidize real life, exactly, but that's the thing, is the fact that the internet isn't real life. To subsidize real life connections is isolating. You can't, and anyone that were to only interact with people online would be the loneliest person I've ever met. And I would never meet them because they only interact with people online. But at the same time, it can really enhance your life and international relationships. And I don't mean like dating, but just, you know, like when you're in kindergarten and, you know, and now they have like little kindergartners that have like online buddyship with like a kindergarten place in India, and they send each other things on the internet, and that's like cool and adorable. But you know, that kid isn't gonna go, well, now that I talk to this kid in India, I don't need to have my best friend here. It should be something added, not replacing anything. And as long as it's just adding on, it's not isolating.